I'm Bryan Langford, and this is my first Ironman. We'd been trying to have kids for 5 years. Connor was actually adopted. We got him when he was a day old. And so Connor, at 2 months old, had his first seizure. So 2 months and 4 months that happened, and the doctors just kind of wrote it off. And then at 7 months, he had a full-blown seizure. There was no doubt at that point that it was epilepsy, and we started different medications, and Connor was one who never responded to any of them. A lot of them made it worse, terrible side effects with a lot of the drugs that they give people for epilepsy. And our lives literally were just a hell. I mean, it was in and out of hospitals, diets. He had surgery at that point. I mean, it just went crazy. There was days he'd have several hundred seizures in one day. For years it lasted, and you just feel helpless. There's nothing you could do. Connor was 8 years old when he passed away from SUDEP, sudden unexpected death in epilepsy patients. Our world just kind of turned upside down. You know, we went from living that crazy nightmare to a whole nother, just unbelievably painful time. During that, we found a grief camp, and they had a 10K as a fundraiser, and I just started running. Found out I loved it. It was great therapy, and really became kind of a salvation for me during that time. I've never been somebody that looked at Ironman and said, I want to do that. When Connor was still alive, somebody sent us a Team Hoyt video. That's a father who takes his disabled son on an Ironman. And I was just blown away. I cried like a little girl. And my wife just made the comment, I can see you doing that with Connor someday. I view Connor as being with me all the time when I'm running. There was a scene in the hospital where it was just me and him one night. He had started a new medication that almost made him giddy and overly happy. He just took off running down the hall. I couldn't keep up with him, and he would giggle and turn a corner. And so that still happens to this day a lot of times when I'm running and you're just exhausted and you don't know if you can make it, and I'll see him just giggle and round the next corner. And he's just always fleeting, just a few steps ahead, but he's always leading the way. The main reason I want to do Ironman Coeur d'Alene is just to kind of do the impossible for me. To me, it's reaching for Connor. It's a very spiritual journey. His gravesite's just a mile from the finish line. You imagine getting to that point, coming down Sherman, and it's gonna be magical. It's pretty overwhelming and humbling to think about.